All right, guys, welcome to Mike Green Outdoors. I'm your host, Mike Green. I am in Newcastle. It's 1st of September. Went and picked up some new Ned rigs. You know, I love the Ned rig. Here catching smallies at Newcastle. Don't know what it's going to be like. It's a little windy. Second half of the day. I'm going to tie one on and see what happens. So join me. We'll see if we can run into something. Well, we got something out there hanging out in the weeds. A little smallie. All right, come on over here. Well, you had that thing for lunch. All right. All right. See the gills there. All right, well, that's number one. Skinny. Little Newcastle smallie. But he was hungry for it. And he was pretty far out there too, surprisingly far. Maybe we'll do okay out here. There's another one. Oh. All right, that guy feels a little bigger, maybe. Sure enough, a little bigger and a little fatter too. He's been doing some eating. All right, bud. So he's been, you can see, starting to get some colors to him. It's not a terrible little smallmouth. They're out there further than I thought that they would be. Get some of that gunk off there. All right, well, maybe this will be a somewhat exciting video. I gotta be honest, I went to Minersville earlier today, and aside from one teeny little smallmouth that I caught the first or second cast I got there in the little pond, I struck out, man. I went to there were a couple people in the pond, and so I went up the dam and decided to fish off the dam, and I've typically done pretty well with some smallmouth that are a little bigger, and totally struck out. Worked my butt off crawling up and down the riprap. I don't have my boat today. Just kind of sucks all the fun out of it. So I lasted there for a couple hours and then was driving back into Cedar and decided, you know what, I still got second half of the day and kids are off doing something, my wife's off doing something. I'm gonna try to redeem myself down here at Newcastle a little bit. So stopped off and restocked on some of these Ned rigs as I was low on them, and decided to head out to Newcastle. So far it's been better. And you know, Newcastle typically will catch a million small ones. Then if you're lucky, you'll catch a smallie or two that has some size on it. And if you're really lucky, you'll pick up a wiper. I don't expect to. I've never caught a wiper on a Ned rig. I don't see why you couldn't. But I never have yet. So we're gonna just keep trying these smallies. There's a bunch of gunk down there. Maybe we can slap that off there. All right. Get back out there a little bit. I'm surprised actually, because typically in a boat I'm only getting them quite a bit closer to the bank, but for whatever reason right here they seem to be bunched up. I know there's a bunch of weeds and junk back there, so maybe there's a couple back there. Maybe I caught the couple that were there and now I need to move on, but All right. I didn't feel that guy hit, but it doesn't feel like a very big one. Oh, did you see him jump? I had my hand in the way. That's that little drag. Better catching these guys. I think we're gonna end up. Yeah, he's all right. I did not feel that guy even hit on him. Oh. Well, he's got it. You got it way down there, smallmouth. I might have to bust out the pliers on this one. There it goes. Another little decent sized one. And really, I do much better with a ultralight rod, or certainly a rod that's lighter than this rod, feeling these guys hit, because I just really can't unless they really take it. And usually smallies really take it, but I've been surprised how many times I've picked up my rod to reel it in and I've got one on the end of it. Maybe I had one picked it up there a second ago. Thing about it, if I don't get it pretty much right where it lands, I'm gonna pick up enough junk with this Ned rig or this Ned head, that I'm really not gonna fool too many fish with that. Let's see if there's one close here. I think I'm just in the sand. This time of year, this molten craw Ned just knocks them dead. And actually, Newcastle, I was here a couple weeks ago, and it was much more murky than it is now. It's still pretty murky, but it's nothing compared to what it is right now. So, all good signs for my favorite time of the year, fishing, which is the fall. Sure enough, well, they are out there a little further than what you would expect. And this area is pretty shallow. This one's decent. Pulling a little bit of drag. Oh, I lost him. Now let's let that Ned fall back down and see if anything's right there. Like I say, the water's clearer than what it has been for a while. Man, I'm sad to have lost that one. He hit pretty good. Let's see if we can find his friends over here. Not a soul on Newcastle today. Of course, it is a middle of the week. School started, so I figured there wouldn't be as many people. But usually there's a kayak or two at least. But it's getting to be time where most people are getting off work, so I'm sure that we'll have a person or two coming up. Oh, this one there. I really do need to get myself an ultralight rod for this fishing, this smallmouth fishing. It's just rare enough that you'll get a smallmouth of any size in Newcastle to really offset the, oh, I think that was just some weeds. I don't think that was a fish. But to really offset the need for a bigger rod. I mean, this is just my regular bass rod. Oh yeah, I got all kinds of junk. Look at that. This is just my regular medium heavy bass rod. It just happens to be what cast the nicest and the smoothest with these Ned heads, these Ned rigs, and it's a great rod. I love this rod. It's the Bass Pro Shop carbon something or other. I got, oh yeah, Carbon Light 2.0. I got it as a, oh, there's one. There it is. I got it as a combo rig, and it is the smoothest casting rig I've ever had. I may have that drag set a little too. Come on in. Ooh, that's a good looking feller. A little bigger. How'd he do? All right. Ouch. That was my fault. All right. Okay. He was just skin hooked there. That was not a bad looking fish there. Thank you. He's been caught a time or two before. It's always a good sign. And again, I'm surprised how far out they are. Typically, I'm fishing in my boat, working these banks, and I'm thinking, like, if I don't hit them in the first, 6 or 10 feet from the shore, I'm reeling in fast. And I do usually fish the deeper parts of the lake. Here comes another one. I do usually fish the deeper parts of the lake. Oh, stay down there, fish. Oh, he's caught up on something. All right, swim out of there. He's caught on a weed or something. There we go. He's off now. Tighten this drag just a touch. Fighting these guys like they're wipers, but they're just these little. Ooh, that's not a bad one. It's kind of a cool looking guy. He's got some size to him. Yes, sir. He's a good looking feller there. Let's get this hook out and I'll show you. Look at that guy. He's starting to get some stripes on him. That's a good looking little smallie there. Again, nothing too fancy, but good looking guy there. All right, let's keep her going. I was expecting to have to work this bank by all those rocks down closer to the dam to really get any action. I didn't really expect in these muddy flats that I would do pretty well, but it stayed busy enough that I think I'll just keep you live and uncut here, and we'll see what we can catch. All right. Yeah, like I say, I went to Minersville earlier today, and this has been a tough year for Minersville, for me at least. I have not, typically I do pretty good there, and this one there. Typically I do pretty good, but earlier in the year, Minersville flooded and got so deep, deeper than I've ever seen it. And I don't know if it just threw everything off, or I don't really know what happened, but whatever it was, oop, this one. Minersville has not been the same for me this year. So I'm not gonna totally write it off. I'll probably still end up going there as it cools down, just because it's been such a great wiper lake for me in the fall. And especially if I am fishing from my boat, I think I'm about done tripping over the riprap on the dam. All right, let's recast out here. But as far as the fishing from a boat, you can do that without killing yourself. So I think I'll probably try that at least a time or two more this year, but I tell you what, it's it's not been the same this year. And I don't know, you know what, I almost always run into trout both here at Newcastle and Minersville, and I have not seen a single trout on the end of my line, whether I'm trolling a Rapala or fishing, you know, even fishing a plastic worm. I'll usually end up catching a few trout every year, and not this year. And so I don't know if, again, with the extreme drought we've had the last couple years, coupled with the with how much water we had this winter, or last winter, and then early spring, whether it's just killed off a whole bunch of fish. I don't know what's happened, but whatever it is, the trout fishing has not been there for me, which is fine. Obviously, I'd rather catch bass anyways, but it's just been really surprising. Oh, I got something or no? I don't think I do. I thought maybe I had a real little guy. Might have had one just bite the tail of that Ned rig. I bought some of those new Yamamoto Ned rigs. I'm going to try those here in a minute. Or maybe I won't, because these are killing it. Yeah, it's just a bunch of junk. But we'll see. Tilt you down just a touch here. All right, let's give it a cast or two more here in this spot. Like I say, I really love this rod and reel combo. It is the smoothest combo, and with this line, and I don't know if it's the line or the rod or I don't know what the combo is, but whatever it is, this rod has been fantastic for me. I've caught an awful lot of fish. I might be done on this spot. Got a cast or two and haven't caught anything yet. So anyways, back to Minersville. I fished the pond, and like I say, I think it was the second cast in. Well, when I rolled up on the pond, and the pond is super small, there was already two people there, and so I almost didn't fish it at all, but they were both on the same side, so I figured, well, I'll just fish the one side. And I think they were even trout fishing. I don't think they were fishing for bass, but so I threw let's throw this kind of in front of these weeds right here and see if there is. I threw it into that on the other side, and second cast caught a little teeny, smaller than any ones I've caught here so far, and which, you know, typically I've never caught anything really of any size in that pond, but I do catch them. And I wasn't even going to be picky today. I just really wanted to catch some smallmouth. I just wanted some fishing action today. But after catching that little one, and kind of got a side eye from both those people, because I think I was invading their space, I decided to shove off and see what I could find off the dam. And if you've walked down that dam, you know it's just a little treacherous. I'm just not as sure-footed as I used to be. Ugh, a bunch of junk on that one. Just not as sure-footed as I used to be. And so I kind of feel like I'm taking my ankles in my own hands when I'm fishing that dam. And like I say, I just didn't have my vehicle that pulls my boat today. Here's one. Didn't have my vehicle that pulls my boat, so I'm like, just fish off the bank. And always reminds me why it's worth getting that boat out. Although this isn't bad. This is kind of fun. As long as I can have some good action. Hey, that's the biggest one we've caught so far. That's a good looking fish there. All right. Okay. Let's give you some camera time here. Look at that guy. That's a good looking fish. It's got some stripes to him. He's well fed for Newcastle. That's not a bad looking little guy there. All right, let's see if we can get this untwisted a little bit, straighten it up. Okay, that's a nice little smallmouth. Like I say, I'm not really going for any trophies today. There's always a chance you'll get them here, but I'm just looking for action today. And I'm getting it, so no complaints from me. Anyway, so I got another one here. Oh, he bit for a second. Anyway, so I walked up the dam, and actually I parked on the east side of the dam and walked up on top of the dam until I got to the spillway, and then walked down because that's kind of the safest spot to do it. I got another one pecking at it here. All right, take it, take it, take it. There it is. Tell you what, if you want to bring some kids and have fun, I just have them catch fish consistently. Bring them to Newcastle and throw a Ned rig on. I mean, oop. All right, keep going. You can do it. Pretend like you're a salmon going upstream. There he goes. Bring them here because they'll stay busy the whole time. I mean, what is that? I've been here for, what has it been, 20 minutes, and I probably have 10 fish. All right, this one's risky because he might go swim right into the weeds. There's one taking it. Oh, but my chance of a bigger one's maybe right here by the weeds. He wanted it. He wanted it. After it again. Come on. Come on. One more good take. One more good take. Come on. You know you want it. Tasted good. It's pretty to look at. Oh, it's stuck on a weed. All right, they're in there. Let's get this junk off here. But yeah, bring your kids out to Newcastle and go over to your local sporting goods store. Pick up some Ned rigs. Pick them up in a bright color like this, especially this time of year. And you'll stay busy. Oh, this Ned rig's getting there. This worm's getting hammered. I mean, it's caught me, what, 10 fish, so I can't complain, but it probably only has a fish or two left in it. But you'll stay busy. Kids will be happy. I think too many people have that first fishing experience and it's not a good experience. They don't catch anything and they never go fishing ever again. And I always just tell people they hate fishing, but if you can get somebody on fish, even if they're not massive fish, they'll be a lifelong fisherman. Oh, I think I'm hooking into a bunch of weeds over here. I think we'll call it good for this spot. I'm sure I could sit here and probably catch a batch. Something right there, but I think we'll walk up around this weeds and go to these more rocky areas, which traditionally have been better spots for me. Anyway, so I'm at Minersville and tripping on the riprap, wishing I had my boat. So I threw a square bill on there, one that I've actually done pretty good working the dam at Minersville, and I threw the crap out of that thing and I couldn't catch I mean, there was nothing. I mean, not a bump, not a twiggle, nothing. So my original plan was to walk across the dam, go down at the spillway, walk back, or work my way back to the car, which was at the east end of the dam, and that didn't turn out okay. Not work out. You see how I've got some rocks down there? Traditionally, those have been the better spots for smallies. Although I might be changing my tune after how many I caught there on that sandy shallow bank. We'll see what's going on over here. As you can see, it's about as nice as you can get it right now. There's a little bit of a breeze, which for how warm it is, which, you know, it's actually not that warm. It's probably only 80 degrees, but it's nice to have a little bit of a breeze. Cool you off the second half of the day. But this looks pretty, well, you know what? This is pretty sandy too. Let's see what it ends up looking like. I'm hung up here somehow. Come on. Let's throw out here and see what we got. Certainly a little bit more of a dramatic drop. I wanted to go deeper than that though. Again, I'm surprised that I'm hitting those smallies out a little ways. Typically, smallmouth are right at the shore. That said, and everything changes in September, so smallies start doing stuff different, largemouth do stuff different. Oh, there's one. There's a good one. That's a good take. I would think that hitting them out here a little deeper, I mean, my chances of getting a better sized one would be better. This guy's been pretty average though. You're average, my friend. All right. But they are sucking them down, so that's a pretty small guy there. He's getting my Ned worm all twisted up here. All right, let's throw deep again. I don't know. I'm gonna start fishing this differently than I've been fishing it from the boat, because again, like I say, once I finish up in the first 10 or so feet, I'm usually fast reeling back to the boat and seeing what happens. But these smallies are deeper than what I'm used to. Nothing on that one. Now I'm doing the opposite. If I don't get them deep, I'm reeling in fast, but maybe I should be working it all the way to the bank, I guess. I think the water clarity is about perfect for this Ned, because it's, or this color rather, because it's got just enough bright color that they can see it from a pretty far distance. Something jumped pretty good over there by those weeds, so I'm gonna cast over there next. Might be something over there. And I wonder with these shallower sandy spots if the smallmouth are just holding a little deeper. Maybe they are, maybe they're not, I don't know. Let's see what it looks like shallow here. there's not a lot of rocks. And usually this lake, if there's a rock, I got one right here. There's a smallie behind it. This guy was just making out with it a little bit because all of a sudden he was on there. All right, bud. Get your camera time. Pretty average. Oh, pretty average. I guess he was offended by me calling him average, I guess. All right, let's cast over here just once. There, so I heard a pretty big splash over here, which could have been a variety of things, and certainly could be something I'm getting hung up in over here, because there's a lot more junk I'm going to have to pull this through, if there is something. Actually, I've heard somebody stuck some largemouth in here. Not supposed to have, but somebody put some in here, and it had a little tap there. And of course DWR is up in arms about it. But I would think if there is any largemouth, they're going to be hanging out in these willows a little bit. I wouldn't hate catching a largemouth. I really don't have much of a largemouth fishery super close to me. Of course, you know, I catch them up at the pond a lot, but as far as just a lake like this, we don't have anything till you get down to further in southern Utah, down at Sand Hollow and Quail Creek and Gunlock. But those are great largemouth fisheries. They're far enough away from me that I don't get down there as much. But I've got a new project that'll probably bring you guys along on. That'll be starting fairly soon. Of a boat that I've kind of inherited, that I'll be doing some conversion. It's a ski boat. So, but it's a nice heavy boat. It's a really good Lake Powell boat, which I'm excited about. And so I'm going to do some conversion to, it's an open bow. I'm going to pull the seats out of it and put a platform so that I can fish out of that open bow. Put some carpet on it, put a seat, and hoping to do some Lake Powell trips, because that's something that is definitely a legendary fishery that I really can't take advantage very much with what I've got. It's you certainly can bank fish from Lake Powell, but it's just so big, and a lot of times the access is, you got to be have a serious Jeep or a vehicle that you're really confident with to be able to get down to the bank, because there's so much sand. Or you got to be on a boat, and it's way too big a lake for my little aluminum boat. But this 21 foot, 22 foot, I don't remember how big it is, open bow ski boat is a big heavy boat, and it will do fantastic at Lake Powell, so I'm excited about that. All right, we're gonna reel in here and call it good for this spot. Not quite ready to retire my Ned rig yet. It's got 5 or 10 more fish left in it. All right, let's just move down the bank here a little bit, get some fresh water. I am surprised how clear Newcastle is right now, because I was here, again, it wasn't that long ago, and it was absolutely pea soup. It was just, it was really, really dirty. Not dirty, it's just with the algae growth. And so trolling's really out of the question, which that's how I like to catch wipers. I like to troll for them. And traditionally, and the trout out of here, I like to troll for them. But you throw a crankbait out there on a trolling rig and you get about 10 feet before you've got 25 pounds of muck on it. So that's no fun. So then you're left to either, do the smallmouth fishing, which I absolutely do, and still catch it in the muck, absolutely, especially with a bright colored Ned rig. And when you want wipers, you either gotta stick some stinky bait on there and drop it down and do that, which definitely works, or you've got to kind of anchor and cast. And I've got a pretty good idea where I feel confident that the wipers are at, or at least some of them are at, and so that works okay. But I guess I'm just getting lazy. Ooh, hello. It's a little guy. He hit me on my way out. Howdy, friend. You were at that buffet where the food passes you by and you just grab it. You ever been to a buffet like that? When I was a kid, oh, I'm hung up here. When I was a kid, we used to go to a buffet in Salt Lake, and most buffets you get your plate and then you kind of walk around to the different booths and things that has the food. But this one, you get your place in line, and then all the food was on a conveyor belt, so it just moved past you. And so, as a hungry young man as I was, man, that place was heaven. I'd come back with a giant plate full of food, and this is when I'm 8 or 9 years old. And I remember my grandma would look at me and like, "What are you, crazy? You're never gonna eat that much?" Boy, I proved her wrong. Well, what's happening over here? It's a little slower, it feels like. Again, I think I'm getting the luxury of a really bright Ned. And part of that is because there's a lot of crawdads in this lake. And so one of the primary feed for the smallmouth is crayfish. And oftentimes this time of year they kind of get an orange color to them. And so that's why I've got this color on. Let's see what's over here. My other problem at Minersville is I did not have any of these molting craw colored Ned rigs, and I also didn't have any Ned hooks. I just had some jig heads that were way too heavy, so I tried to improvise, and it just doesn't work. They're just too heavy. Really, with these Neds, you really want to fish them as light as you can get them. I know you have a tendency to, everybody wants to put a big old fat head on there so you can zing it out there, but these Ned rigs, you want them to be pretty finesse. 2 reasons. One, it's not going to catch up on rocks and junk as much if it's not as heavy. But second, you're going to feel the fish, and if you're not fishing with an ultralight rod like I'm not right now, it's pretty important to be able to feel the bites, which I'm not getting any right here. Let's slap that a couple times. Let's move down a little bit more here. Maybe back into this little cove, there'll be something just hanging out. A little bit of a ledge over here that we'll stand on. Ooh, lots of little bait fish in the water. There's also golden shiners in here, and I have caught them on occasion. Let's see what's in the middle of this little cove. I think it gets pretty mossy back in here, which again is usually kind of a benefit of fishing something bright, because a lot of times if you fish a natural color, you know, a green or a gray or something like that, it drops down there and you just lose it. You don't lose it, but it gets lost in all the muck. All right, things have gotten all pretty quiet here for a minute. I wonder what's right here close. Anything? Bunch of little bait fish, but let's throw it over here a little further. See if we can get ourselves hung up. I'm half tempted to walk the other direction. I was going to walk towards the dam, because there's all kinds of these rocky ledges, but now I'm kind of wondering if I should walk the other direction in the sandy shallows. Huh. I think I might just do that. Because I'm not getting anything over here except for a bunch of gunk. All kinds of gunk. All right, you know, it's against my conventional wisdom, but I think I want to go this way with the sandy shallows. Is that weird? Huh. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to pause you so you don't have to hear that. I know I said this was going to be raw and uncut, but I'm going to pause you so you don't have to hear me huff and puff until I get over there. So hold with me just for a minute. Here's my car. I fished all along this bank there, but now I'm thinking I'm going to go this way. Yeah, I'm going to go this way. This is all the sandy shallows, which again traditionally would not be where I would be throwing a Ned rig for smallmouth. Oh, jeez, that was embarrassing. But that's where I've done the best so far. So I think I'm gonna keep throwing this out, you know, 30, 40 feet, something like that, and then see what happens. And maybe that spot was a fluke down there, I don't know. Maybe they're all bunched up right there. Whatever it is, we're gonna give it a run here. Well, that cast, if it's an indicator, it's not a great one. Okay. Because there's a ton of this shoreline. It used to be that this area down here would just be just full of a weed mat. And when I picked up this carbon light rod, I also picked up a 7.6 heavy bait caster that my thought was I wanted to use to punch through those weeds, because here in Utah we just don't have a lot of that. You know, you see these guys in the Midwest that they're punching through lily pads and hydrilla and all that stuff. We just don't have that. So I kind of wanted to experience that a little bit. So I bought that rod, but I just have not put it to good use, because this year this lake flooded so much that there really was never much of a pad. Well, we're gonna get a little bit of a dry spell here. Maybe it was a fluke. Maybe it was a fluke. Let's keep working our way down here just to see what happens. Like I say, this is not deep stuff. This goes for a long way out there. And if it wasn't so gunky, I'd wade out and cool my feet off. But I don't want to get all stuck in the mud. Whatever it is, I'm not hitting anything here. Except for that dragonfly that's on my line. Get off there. Huh. Okay. Well, now I'm just confused. Let's keep walking down here and see what we get. But you can see those weed tops sticking out of the water way pretty farther than what I've been casting. So like I say, I bet I could probably wade out there pretty far. I'm not going to, but I bet you I could. Let's give this spot a try just for fun. See what we can come up with. Lots of bait fish down here. I know some guys that they feel like this is where the wipers are down here on this end. And the first wiper I ever caught out of Newcastle was on this end, and it was just a small, really small one off a lipless crankbait. But other than that, I've pretty well caught all my wipers on the other end of the lake. But I've talked to several people that are here specifically for wipers, and I've found they all have their own theory that they think is the thing that works. So if you're interested in catching wipers, you just got to put in the time, find out what's going to work for you. And as it is, we're not doing very good with the smallies here all of a sudden. But that's might be part of the reason why on that one. I'm all hung up. Get out of there. Worm was not very straight. Although typically these smallies are hungry enough that I'm pretty sure they hit anything. All right, let's throw here and just see what happens. All right, fish, you're blowing my theory here. Either that or they found that buffet that I was talking about. Now they don't don't want my silly worm, I guess. I'm gonna cast towards that big old bush out there. Let's see if there's anything. You can see there's a bunch of flooded weeds and stuff out here. I'd love to get into a kayak and really work some of these shallows. I'm gonna work this one in for a little bit further than I have been. See if they're just, maybe I'm throwing too deep now. A couple people starting to show up here at the lake. Nobody on the water yet, though. Oh, I'm into some weeds now. Come on, come out. Oh boy, I'm really into something now. I got a stick or something. All right, get off there. Get off there. Get off there. Ugh. Well, folks, I don't know what the heck I'm doing now. Don't listen to me. I clearly have no idea what I'm doing. Of course, I never said I was any kind of a professional, so don't hold that against me. Oh God, I feel good about this spot. Oh my heavens. This is going to be good for sure. Well, I might end up going back to that spot we started on. I was catching them every cast there. Maybe this is just too shallow for them. I don't know. You almost wonder if they were here. You wonder if the birds had picked them off. The hawks and the eagles. There's a couple eagles that have nests coming out there on that side. Wouldn't mind at least walking to that point right there. Feels like if I did that, I would be giving this area its due. But I think I'll be quick. Oh, I'm back into a bunch of weeds. I think this area is flooded enough that I can get it down, but let's walk over here a little bit and see. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I don't even know if you can over this wind. I've got to get one of those mount things that kind of buffers the wind. Because if there's one thing we have in abundance in southern Utah, and that's wind. So much so that I fish with fast moving bladed jigs or chatterbait or whatever you want to call them pretty often, just because it's windy. So it's harder to do finesse fishing, especially this time of day. First of the morning. Hey, there's some ducks. Hello, ducks. Sorry to rouse you there. Let's hide in this little shadow right here and cast and see what we can find. Maybe there's something straight out. Anyways, and just as I say that, the wind's starting to pick up. And maybe you guys have nothing but wind noise, I don't know. I don't typically keep the camera on when I fish, but I thought this might be a good opportunity to do that. Got a little bit of junk on it. Those ducks are going right where I want to be. They're going to be really upset when I go there. I kicked them off their spot, and then now they think I'm following them. Oh, that's a mess. That looks like a good place to get stuck. Oh, hello. That was a good jump. That's scary to throw something right through there, but that was a sizable fish. Right on the shallows right there. Do I dare throw it right in there? I'm for sure gonna get caught up. Did not have a bite. I was just grabbing it so I wouldn't get stuck. Let's try one more time. We might as well test our luck. That's right where that fish jumped. You'd think that if he was still there, he'd at least seen it. Oh, there it is. Oh, come on. There we go. There's some fish in there. All right. I'm getting there, fishy. Gosh, I don't really want to get it from this angle because I'm gonna get stuck in all those weeds. Let's walk around here before we do that. I'm for sure, oh gosh, I'm sinking. I'm gonna pause you. I'm gonna sneak right in here, right in this little shadow. Something hitting some right in here. And what? I think they're chasing those little bait fish, but so if I had like a little minnow or something, I'd do better. Boy, I'm right in the middle of a bunch of junk though. Oh, here we go. Come on, take it. Take it, you want it. You want it, take it. Take it. One more. One more. I know you want it. We've worked hard for this guy and we do not have him. Doggone it. And my worm's all fouled up. Let's throw right back in that same spot and see if by chance we can get him to bite. I know there's some fish right in there chasing bait fish. And I know there's one right around it. Hit it, hit it. Nope. We're gonna try one more right here. And if it doesn't happen, I don't think it's gonna happen. We're gonna go chase those ducks back off there. perch. I do wish I had a little gulp minnow and an ultralight rod or something right here. Ah. There's just so many weeds for this Ned rig that it's just getting all hung up. Okay, one more. What the heck? Right in the middle. What the heck? Let's just try it. Just for funsies. Just for funsies. I think there's a bunch of flooded bushes down there, but I don't think it's going to happen for me. Let's pop it out and drop it right there. All right. Let's go harass these ducks for a minute. And then I think this is maybe as far this way as I want to go, because it just has not been as good as what I was hoping. But that's fishing for you. Sometimes the plans you put together that you think are absolutely foolproof don't do anything. What is that? And other times you do amazing, so that's hard to know. But I do really believe that, given that, putting in the time, doesn't matter what body of water you're on, is really important. And because we chase these fishing reports, and you ask your friends and your buddies and whatever, and it's never worked that good for me to try to copy what somebody else has done. I do better when I just kind of follow my gut and fish what I feel like is gonna work the best, and typically it does. We got a fair amount of ducks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's something. Come on, take it again. And it could very well just be a little sunfish that's pecking at it. I thought I had that guy. I was gonna say we're about to find out, but boy, they just keep jumping over there. I know they're chasing those bait fish. And that breeze has stopped, and it's hot. Hot, hot, hot. No, don't want to do it. All right, let's go on the other side of this point. Throw a couple times over here. Get some of this junk off these. It's a little more rocky over here, so maybe this will do something. This looks closer to like what it was over there where I started. Something's nibbling at it. There we go. Finally. Good night. Stay down. Oh, he's caught up in a batch of weeds. He's fighting okay. All right, okay. No, we're all proud of you. That's a good looking fish right there. All right, okay. You're worth the wait, my friend. You got a little bit of heft to you. Boy, he's got a belly on him too. Holy cow. That is by far the fattest one that I've seen. Get out of there. Let go. Look at this guy. Look how fat that is. Get him in the sun. You got a bowl full of jelly, my friend. I think I see a little antenna of a crayfish down there. Oh, but he's feeding. Good for him. Let's see if he's got any buddies over there. That guy was worth the wait. This cast kind of back in that same spot. I picked these orange ones up because I was expecting Newcastle to be much more dingy than this. Some bugs out. I'm gonna put my hood up maybe. That's if I can get it unraveled. Let's throw one more time over here. See if there's any other hungry hippos. Be nice to get one of those big cruising ones. That's just here for an easy meal. Deeper. Maybe that guy was king of the hill, and he was the only one over here. It's kind of felt like if I don't get them wherever it drops first, if I try to reel in at all, except for a few exceptions, I'm just getting a bunch of gunk and not any fish. Yeah, I feel a gunk on there. Let's throw right up along the shoreline, see if there's anything. He's got a little weight to him. I don't think he's as big as the last one. Come on up here, my friend. Yeah, he's a little more of a little rocket. But I'll still take you. Thanks for playing. Let's throw one more right up there just to see if, just to be sure we've reached enough terror over there. Just along this point here. Ooh, bugs are coming out. Ouch. Biting me. Dumb things. Alright, I think I'm gonna work back towards the car. Back to where I started. So I think I'm gonna pause you till I get over there. Alright, we made it back. I want to thank any of you that are still watching. If there's anybody here. If you're here, leave a comment. Let me know who you are. Look at that. I got a hit as soon as I threw it in there. He's still on there. Oh, he's stuck in a weed. Swim out of there, my friend. Swim out. Oh, I'm on something hard here. Ooh, I'm moving it. Whatever it is. We'll see if it survives. Be interesting to see if the fish is still on there, which it is not. Actually, he is on there still. Oh, that's quite a ride for you, my friend. You got a story to tell. Oh, he come off. No, he's still on there. He's gonna write home and say, hey, you know what? I went on a ride on a prickly bush. Didn't even get a meal out of it. Didn't even get a meal out of it. He earned his camera time there. All right. That's what I'm saying. I'm back by the car, and as soon as that hit the ground, I had something after it. So it must be something about this little pocket. I got something here hitting it. Hasn't committed to it yet. Not yet. We'll see if he comes back around. I can keep these flies off my legs. Oh, not that time. Had some good hits there. Ouch. Ah, these flies are biting the crap out of my legs. Hate to leave because of that. Usually I wear longer pants, but not today. These flies are eating me alive. You know, these are eating enough and fast enough that it really is worth getting an ultralight rod. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, he's in a bush too. Come on, guys. Swim out of that bush. You can do it. I got a pretty big bush on this one. I think it's the same kind of bush too, like I'm moving it. And I don't know if that fish is still on there or not. That's weird how all of a sudden I'm catching these bushes. That's a big one. I don't see anything flopping on that one, so I don't think I've got a fish still. But look at that thing, good gravy. Dragging that thing in here. Come back, all right. Now it'll come off. Let's see the status of my hook. It's okay. It's okay, and it wants more. I've got my line all wrapped around the rod though. All right, come on. All right, here we go. I must have a batch of tumbleweeds right there that I'm hitting. I need to put some fly spray in the car. These guys are eating my legs alive here. I need to get some shants. That's what I need. I need to zip on the bottom part. Used to have me some nice shants. I don't anymore. Yeesh. These flies are killing me. I hate to leave because of that. All right. There's some gunk on that one. All right, let's try over here. Problem is, I'm right down in this mud. And so, of course, wherever there's mud, there's gonna be these little biting flies. Let's try over here. Yeah, see, when I reel it in, it just gets a bunch of junk on it. Ouch. Yeesh. As soon as I do that, as soon as I start reeling it off the bottom, it just gets covered in junk. So, like I say, you almost have to drop it right on top of their head, which, you know, so far has worked pretty good. On that one. Yes. All kinds of gunk. Alright, let's keep moving down. We're gonna work back to these weeds where we started, and then we'll probably call it a day. If I don't, I think I'm gonna be half eaten by these by these flies. So like I say, if anybody's still here, drop a comment down at the bottom. I'm always curious. Oh, there was a fish biting right there. I'm always curious whether you just kind of ran into this video or if you're a subscriber. My channel just barely hit the... There's one. Ooh, he's a pretty good one. Barely hit the 2,500 subscriber mark, which is great. Hey, go for it, my friend. He's fighting pretty good for how big he is. I think I'm at 2,502 last time I checked. Well, you got it right in the eye. Sorry about that. Not a bad fish, though. So, channel's been growing in spite of me not posting much. I just haven't, I fished probably more this year than I have in previous years. I just haven't felt like bringing the camera, you know? And maybe you understand that, maybe you don't, but sometimes you just kind of want some you time, you know? And not have to worry about camera or anything like that. I got another one taking it. Oh, missed him. Oh, now I'm wrapped up on the bottom. So I just haven't brought the camera as much this year. Boy, I'm all tangled up here. I've been taking just kind of still shots and putting them on FishBrain. So if you're on FishBrain, or if you're a fisherman and you like, FishBrain's kind of a social media app for fishing people. And you can find me by going to Mike Green Outdoors, and I'll post there pretty regularly, a lot more consistently than what I've actually been filming. And I've caught some great largemouth this year, but I don't know, I've been focused on other stuff, and when I fish, it's been really just truly as a escape. Oh, there's one. Come on. Commit to it. Commit. Tastes good. Eat it up. Yeah. There you are. It's been, you know, kind of a true escape. Let's keep you on the top. So, I just haven't filmed as much. And I know I need to. Matter of fact, I don't even think my channel is monetized anymore. Which, you know, it's not like I'm really doing it for the monetization, but it's nice to get a little every now and again just to kind of cover gas and lures and that kind of stuff. Anyways, I need to do better. I need to film more. I forget that I started this not necessarily kind of one part to document just for myself, to remember some of these trips, and you know, there's times that I do enjoy going back in time and watching some of my old videos and remembering trips and fish and that kind of stuff. Definitely that's one part. Second part is, you know, having some kind of a historical record for my kids. You know, I wish I had something like that for my dad or my grandpa when they had great fishing trips. But third thing is for you guys. You know, I know several of the people that have subscribed and commented on my channel. You know, they live in the middle of the city. You know, they're not really in a place where they can, either a place in life or a place like physically where they live that they can really go fish. And so, but they love the outdoors and they love to see some of this beautiful scenery. And so I got to remember sometimes that, you know, I'm fishing for them too, kind of in proxy. And I know that I do that. You know, I watch channels of people. I love watching channels in Florida of all the different species that they catch out there, you know, and I you know, it's awesome, and I enjoy that, and I kind of feel like I'm right there in the boat with them. There's a good one. Oh, I missed it. That was a good take too. And so I realize the opposite is true for people that are watching this channel, so I need to do better about providing that service. Man, that was a good one. I wish I wouldn't have missed that one. The other thing about this wind blowing is it keeps the flies gone, which is nice. But like I say, I don't know if anybody can even hear me yakking, which maybe that's a good thing. Oh, here's a take. Take it again, take it again, take it again, take it again. You want it. It tasted good. Oh, I ripped it right out of his mouth. That's okay. So, you know, for those reasons, I got to do better, and I commit to it. And you can always find me on Instagram and TikTok, even Mike Green Outdoors, pretty much everywhere. I've even got a Facebook page that I just started, but you can find, oh, where did that land? Did it come off? I'm not sure I've got a worm on there anymore. I didn't see that splash down. Anyways, you can find me pretty much on all the places. I think maybe my line broke when I cast that out. Do I still have it? Oh, I still do. That was weird. I didn't see it splash down at all. Let's go back in that area again. There we go. I don't know what the count is. We got to be up to, I don't know, 15, 20 maybe. I don't know. Maybe not that much. I think I might have went just a touch deep this time. Let's see if we can work it a little closer. Hello, Mr. B. Yeah. Get off there, you doggone weed. Come on. There it is. Okay, let's move down here a little bit. Should have brought my chair, is what I should have done. I went up the mountain probably a week ago to an old trout lake that I have fished for, gosh, maybe 35 years, just to kind of take a break and get up in the mountains a little bit and do something different. Come on, take it, take it, take it. You want it. Take it again. Oh, too early. That was my fault. Oh, now I can't remember what I was going to tell you. I think I was going to tell you that I brought my chair with me, and it was really nice to sit there on the bank and remember old times and catch a couple slimy rainbow trout. There he is. He's on there. Just a little guy though. He's little, but he's got a lot of heart, don't you? Yeah. Lots of heart you got. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. All right. He even poked me. He had so much heart, he poked me. Anyways, I know what I was going to tell you. And I was shocked that I had enough service, but I actually went live on TikTok up there. And it was kind of past when I was catching any fish, but I caught a really beautiful sunset. On TikTok, which is kind of fun. TikTok has a pretty active fishing community, I found. And I actually feel like live videos is kind of the future. I feel like we're at a point in time where cell coverage and cell phones are finally to the quality where you can sit and watch a live and have it be good enough quality to enjoy it. So I think TikTok's kind of leading the way on the live. I know you can do live on Instagram and YouTube, but I think TikTok is above or ahead of those two other platforms as far as smoothness and technology and that kind of thing. So, all right, we're kind of getting to an end here. Oh gosh, that was a terrible cast, but I guess it'll do. That was one of those casts like when you take your kids to skip rocks and they throw one and there we go. They sidearm it and it doesn't go toward the lake, it goes towards you. But it was destined because we caught a fish. All right, bud. Okay. Oh, you come off. You're not anywhere near the... Hey, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. You can do it. Keep going. Look at that guy. Oh, one more flop. One more flop. Come on. One more flop. One more flop. That's the wrong way. Other way. See, that's how we evolved coming out of the sea. There we go. All right. Just like that. You swam the wrong way. Oh. Well, this little spot right here is where it's at least for today. If you're wanting to bring kids down and have a good time, what you do is you take the road that you're gonna go to the ramp, and right before you get to those little porta potties that they've got, you can take a right turn and follow that road around. And there's a couple roads that go different directions, but if you keep following the road that kind of follows the shoreline, you get to this end. We come over here and camp just because it's a little flatter over here. So oftentimes we'll launch at the ramp, and then after we do that, we'll drive over here and set up the tent. But I bet if you picked up a little rod and... Oh, I'm in something deep now. I don't think I'm getting that one out. That one feels heavy. Oh, it come out. picked up a rod and a Ned head, a Ned worm, and they'd probably bite on other colors too. It's just, I've had a lot of luck on this molting craw here at Newcastle just because it's so bright. And oftentimes this year the water's so mucky. But I bet you if you did a more natural color, you'd probably have success too. But honestly, this time of year, all through the summer, those smallmouth are so competitive for food that, you know, they'll hit anything almost. That's definitely true for here and Enterprise. And Minersville used to be, but it doesn't seem like that way as much this year. Hopefully in the next year or two, it'll get back to its former glory. All right, I think I got a couple more casts left in me before I wear out here. Getting lazy when it comes to pulling these weeds off though. Legs are starting to give out. Oh. There he is. There he is. Oh, I think he come off. He come off. That was a good one though. And you know, there's probably a bunch of different places on this lake where you could have the same success. Like I say, this is usually not the area that I fish when I'm in my boat. I'll fish that east end of the pretty well from right here directly across over to the dam, and it's just filled with smallmouth. But I wouldn't say those smallmouth are any better than these ones that I'm catching. I have caught a few really nice size big ones, 15-16 inch ones over there. I've never caught anything that big on this side. Get over here. Get over here. You want to come in. There you are. He's not bad. You got a lot of heart, don't you? Huh? You're getting yourself all wrapped up. You know, all wrapped up there. All right. Okay. Oop. And he fell off too. Let's see if he flips any better. Keep flipping. Keep flipping. Go. Wrong way. Come on. Oh, come on. You got better than that in you. Come on. This way. This way. I don't want to have to bend down. Oh, now I'm going to have people mad at me. There he goes. Come on. There you go. There you go. Good job. I have people yelling at me in the comments. Well, probably isn't too many people that have stayed this long with me. All right, I think I got 2 or 3 more fish left in me. And really, if I was going to go after a wiper, and I don't typically go after wipers on the bank, but if I was going to go after the wiper, this is when I would start thinking about it. Sun's about ready to go down. It's going to be dusk. That's when those wipers start to come alive and start chasing some bait around. So if we were going to do that, I'd probably be going over there to the dam and throwing a crankbait or something. And I don't know, probably won't. We'll see. All right, last cast. Let's get the gunk off. Should we cast out there? Should we cast out here? Or should we cast out here? We've probably done the least amount of casts over here, so let's cast over here. We'll go a little further than what we have before. See if we can grab something here. Nothing right off the bat. Like I say, the trend has been that they will grab it right off the bat if they want it, or if there's anything close. And if there's not, all right, that one didn't count. One more. Yeah, I like that one better. You know, you can fish a net a bunch of different ways, but when you get all this junk on the bottom of the lake like this has, you really gotta just fish it almost like you would a drop shot. You know, kind of pick your spot and put it in there. All right, let's wrap up. Let's walk back. Oh, we got a bunch of junk on here. Oh gosh, oh geez, oh gosh. Okay, let's take you off the chest here. I'll talk to you on the way back, if I can do this gracefully. Oh boy. All right. Okay, so if any of you happen to be here still, thanks so much for joining me. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I kind of wanted it to be a longer video. I know for me, I enjoy watching the live, uncut, long version. It's like you're fishing with a buddy. And so that was my goal with this video, was to have you just come along with me and experience the catches and the slow times and the fast times. Have a conversation together. Although I have to be honest, I'm not used to talking to myself for that long. I just need to do a better job of keeping the conversation up. But anyways, let's end it here. And just in case, if I do happen to come back, that means I decided to stop at the dam and catch a wiper. Probably won't, but we'll see when I get over there. Till next time.